Hey, Pitbull, welcome back. I mean, there's been such a long wait for this fight, obviously. So I'm just wondering if you can put into words how frustrating that can be.
O mundo dentro da luta que fala sobre essa frustração,
De quê?
de demorando para
Ah,
entre as lutas.
merdas acontecem, né? Aconteceu tanto para mim como para os outros lutadores. Então, estamos em situações iguais e não estou preocupado com isso. Aproveitei o momento com minha família, treinei bastante, consegui adquirir técnicas novas, estou mais habilidoso e vamos dar o próximo passo. Acontece.
Yeah, that happens. We're professional fighters, and that happens in the fight game. We're actually both in the same situation. I got to spend some time with my family. I trained very hard. I improved on some skills. I added some new skills, and we're ready to fight.
And were you surprised the Grand Prix didn't return sooner in July or August when Bellator first came back from the pandemic?
Você estava de surpresa que o torneio do Grand Prix não voltou, tipo, primeiro mês em julho, quando o Bellator voltou.
Eu esperava que voltasse antes e eu até estava pronto para entrar na reta final do camp, né? Então eu sempre tive um camp ali controlado, esperando aquelas últimas 4 semanas, que é as semanas mais duras para fazer o treinamento realmente pré-competição. E não veio julho, não veio agosto, não veio setembro, e depois a gente recebeu notícia que seria em novembro, mas deu tudo certo. Eu consegui controlar as lesões, o pico de treino não subiu muito, então me mantive saudável ali, né? Então deu tudo certo. Acontece, eu estou aqui para trabalhar, não tenho nada para reclamar.
Yeah, I was ready for July. I was ready for August. I was even at the end of my camp. I have a very controlled camp, and we make sure the last 4 weeks we do it correctly so we could peak at the right moment. So fortunately, we're still in peak form. I've been waiting for this fight. I'm well prepared. I've added skills, and let's fight.
Good to hear. And last one for me. Just give us your thoughts on the matchup. You've had a lot of time to study Pedro now. What are your thoughts on him and the dangers that he poses?
O que você pensa sobre o jogo de Pedro?
Pedro é um lutador muito novo, que gosta de colocar muita pressão, ele usa toda a sua juventude, né? Ali na luta, com muita vontade, vai muito para cima, coloca muita pressão. É um kickboxer muito bom, luta de destro, de canhoto, chuta muito forte na área da cintura, tem um jiu-jitsu bom, ali a parte de queda ele evoluiu bastante, eu sei que ele está treinando bastante o resto da academia dele. É um lutador que procura ser completo, então não é um cara a ser subestimado, mas eu estou pronto, eu sou melhor do que ele em todas as áreas e ele vai ser eliminado na próxima rodada.
So Pedro's a really good fighter. He's a kickboxer. He switches stances. He trains a lot of wrestling. He's a very formidable opponent in this tournament. But I'm ready for this fight. I'm ready to eliminate him and move on in the tournament. I respect him as a fighter, but I'm going for that $1 million.
Steve?
Obrigado, Pitbull. Thank you for the time. And
Obrigado.
speaking of being respectful and having respect, Pedro may have said something that would not sound good to you. He said you like to play the victim, and therefore you can be the hero when you beat the villain in the fight. Is he talking out of his ass?
Ela que fala, você gosta de falar, tipo, você é vítima. Eu tenho um personagem de vítima. Tipo, então se você perde, você vai ter desculpas quando você perde. Tipo assim, você acha que ele está falando para entrar de cabeça? Qual é os seus pensamentos sobre isso?
Eu não sei nem o que esse cara está falando. Se eu perder, Acontece. Nós estamos no esporte para vencer e perder. Mas eu me vejo como lutador melhor que ele. Se for o destino de eu perder para ele, fazer o quê? Não acontece. Mas eu tô aqui, eu tô pronto para bater. Não sei o que ele está dizendo, não entendi nada.
I have no idea what he's talking about. We're in the fight game. Anybody can win or lose. Of course, anytime I step in that cage, I can lose. But I'm the winningest fighter in Bellator history. I'm coming for that $1 million.
E eu me vejo como um lutador melhor que ele.
And I see myself as a better fighter. I see myself as a better fighter than he is.
Speaking of being the winningest fighter, obviously Michael Chandler would have loved to have taken that spot from you, but he left and went to UFC. Do you think he ran away from a rematch with you?
Você acha que ele estava fugindo de um revanche com você quando ele foi para UFC, Michael Chandler?
Eu acho que talvez, eu não estou certo disso não, mas eu sei que ele não quer lutar comigo de novo. Ele sabe que no jogo dele não se encaixa com o meu. Eu tenho o número dele. Mas foi bom, ele lá, ele pode bater nos caras lá, ele pode ser campeão. E ele sendo campeão, eu sou o único cara que fez ele beijar a lona.
Yeah, I mean, he's over there. That's great. But I beat him. I'm the only one that put the champion on the canvas. He knows I have his number, so it's possible that he did go over there for that reason. But I could say that he has all the ability to beat those guys over there as well. He can beat all those guys over there. It's just that he can't beat me because I have his number. So he can very well go on to become a world champion in the UFC with the skills that he has. But he knows he'll never beat me.
Very good. Mucho obrigado. Have a great fight Thursday.
Obrigado. Até quinta-feira.
How you like my ad lib?
All right, we'll go to Jim. Jim Barstow, your line is live. Okay, we'll try Simon. Your line is live.
Hey, Patricio, Simon from MMA Island. I just gotta ask you here. Holding one belt is difficult, and winning two is a task not many could even imagine. Is it fair to say you feel like you've done it all throughout your whole career?
É justo porque falar que porque você tem dois cinturões do seu champion, que você faz tudo que você quiser em sua carreira.
Não. Não entendi.
Você realizar todas suas metas dentro da MMA,
Não,
sendo champion.
não, acho que falta mais um pouco. Eu quero bater mais alguns recordes, defender o cinturão. Eu ainda sou novo, tenho 33 anos agora. Então, eu tenho muita coisa ainda para mostrar. Estou numa situação boa, eu sei disso. Mas tem muita rivalidade acontecendo. A Pitbull Bros tem grandes talentos que podem enfrentar os caras da Irlanda, da SPG. E vamos fazer esse desafio acontecer. Meu irmão está contra Peter Pitbull agora. Ia ser uma coisa boa. Então, tem muita coisa ainda. Muito capítulo para contar dessa história.
No, I have a lot left to do in MMA. I have a lot of objectives, a lot of more new records that I want to break for Bellator, 3-category champ. Records like that, things that have never been done before. And then I have the Pitbull brothers along with my brother fighting SBG, and Patricio fighting Peter Queally soon. So there's a lot of stuff on the horizon for myself and the Pitbull brothers. We have a rivalry with SBG and the Pitbull brothers. Leandro Alter Ego versus James Gallagher is another fight we're really interested in. And the Pitbull brothers versus SBG is a big rivalry that's ahead of us. So there's a lot more chapters and a lot more conquering to happen in the future.
Talking about chapters and breaking records, would you ever consider the option of moving to the UFC?
Eu já pensei em cross promotion. Acho que o futuro do esporte é botar os campeões para se enfrentarem para a gente saber realmente quem é o melhor.
Yes, I've already spoke about cross promotion. I think that's the future of MMA. The landscape is changing with the new government possibly, and cross promotion is the best way to find out who truly is the best fighter at each weight class. And I know I am.
All right,
I know he is.
we'll go back to Jim.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that before. Okay, who's with you for this fight?
¿Quién está con usted para esa lucha?
Quem me ocorre?
Sí.
Everton Lopes, bicampeão mundial de boxe, meu treinador de boxe. Eric Barassi, da seleção americana de wrestling, é um dos caras mais sinistros que tem tecnicamente. Meu irmão me viu nascer, sabe minhas todas as técnicas. E um dos caras mais sinistros do Brasil, do Karatê, Mano Santana.
And Patricio,
So,
go ahead. Sorry.
who's here is Everton Lopez, two-time Olympian, two-time amateur boxing world champion. My brother, the king of Bellator knockouts, Captain Eric Alberson, Team USA wrestling member, and technical coach, and Mano Santana, also Team Brazil and black belt in karate. He's one of my technical striking coaches.
This is assembled quite a team. I'm curious, Patricio, just how important to your career are all these people that have been around you and the team itself and doing everything together as a team? I know it's an individual sport, but you all have really built a great team.
Fala sobre você bate todas as regras. Fala tão importante uma equipe bom para disciplinar você com uma equipe bom, não você tudo.
Quando a gente está numa era, eu estou numa era, eu consigo bater todos os lutadores dessa geração. Então, eu estou fazendo isso por 10 anos. Então, eu já enfrentei várias eras e já dominei elas. Eu estou entrando na nova geração agora, você vê Pedro Carvalho, eu acho que ele tem 24 anos. E estão surgindo vários caras novos aí, AJ McKee, vários caras com a idade praticamente 10 anos a menos que eu, e eu continuo dominando todas essas eras. Então, eu vim para cravar a história, para entrar na história do MMA, eu já estou na história desse esporte, então eu quero fazer isso mais algumas vezes. Girar a categoria e sair limpando todo mundo. Então a equipe é muito importante para isso, que eu sempre evoluo com ela.
The team you surround yourself with is very important. They have to evolve with you as well as you evolve. As you see, there's generations in MMA. I started this game 10 years ago, and I've been able to dominate in every era since. And now there's a new era, there's a new generation of fighters. Pedro Carvalho is one of them, being 22, 24 years old. AJ McKee is another one. And I've been, these guys are the new generation coming up, and I'm here, and I'm dominating them. And I'm still dominating them. So the team you have around, or the team I have around me is the reason why I've been able to dominate throughout all the eras of MMA.
Toda geração que chega pensando que vai enfrentar Patricio Pitbull, ele já enfrenta um novo lutador diferente. Então sempre eu estou me reinventando.
So every new generation comes up saying they want to beat Patricio Pitbull. I fight them, and then they become a new fighter after I beat them. So I'm reinventing this new generation. They're all improving as they try to keep up with me from how I'm able to dominate in each era of the generation, and I attribute that to you got to have good coaches around you with that evolve with you.
Thank you, Pitbull.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Steven.
Hey, Pitbull, you mentioned your brother earlier. How is he doing after his bout of labyrinthitis?
como está seu irmão depois de ter esse caso de labirinte?
Ele tá se tratando, mas ainda não está curado.
So he's getting it treated. It's not yet finished being cured.
How long did it take him to get over that? What he suffered on fight night? And is this, when you talk about treatment, what do you mean by that? Is this going to be something that's going to be a concern going forward?
Quando você fala sobre tratamento, o que você está falando? Isso vai afetar ele tudo.
Eu já senti 2 vezes lutando. Eu não senti nada antes e senti 2 vezes lutando. Isso é hereditário, vem da nossa família. Então a gente tem que esperar passar os sintomas.
Yeah, this is something that we've had in our family before, and we just got to wait for his symptoms to go away, and he'll be back.
Have you ever suffered from it?
Eu senti 2 vezes lutando.
I've had it twice while fighting.
Wow. What was that like?
Como foi isso?
Uma vez contra Jadson Costa em Natal, ele deu com o ombro no meu queixo e minha cabeça bateu no ringue. E quando eu subi vendo 3 lutadores, minha cabeça estava embaçado. E outra vez foi com o Joe Warren. Mesma coisa, ele me botou para baixo, deu umas pontadas, eu fiquei vendo.
The first time it happened was against Jadson Costa. And I think it was a shoulder to the head to my chin that hit the back of my head on the mat. And when I got back to my feet, I was seeing 3 blurry people. So it also happened again against Joe Warren. That same type of situation, being blurry and seeing 3 Joes after something like that, banging my head on the mat.
Wow. Did watching Anderson Silva fight the other week make you think at all about your career, how you want to go out, how you want to leave the sport, and what you want to accomplish by the time you decide to hang it up?
Essa luta com o Anderson deixou você pensando como você quer sair do esporte, como você quer aposentar, como você vai sair do esporte. Esse deixa você pensando nisso?
O auge de Anderson Silva foi, eu acho que depois da minha idade. Então tem muita coisa para mostrar ainda, mas com certeza a minha categoria é uma categoria mais explosiva, com mais potência. Os lutadores dependem mais disso. E eu sei que eu tenho que, querendo ou não é hora, assim, a gente sabe que agora não é o momento de eu parar, mas querendo ou não, mais 10 anos aqui é muita coisa para mim. Eu sei que eu vou fazer uma história bonita e depois eu não vou querer servir de escada para ninguém. Quando chegar o meu momento, eu vou saber. E talvez eu continue lutando depois de velho, mas contra caras que têm a mesma história parecida com a minha. E eu continue fazendo super lutas contra caras que têm a história parecida, com caras que foram campeões, com caras que têm a minha idade. E eu acho que até o MMA, o UFC, Bellator e as grandes organizações deveriam pensar numa categoria de master. Os caras mais velhos enfrentando caras mais velhos e lutando de igual para igual, porque a gente sabe que a idade chega para todo mundo e mesmo que você esteja um grande lutador, você lutando contra um cara muito mais novo, pode estar fazendo diferença grande na hora do combate.
So it doesn't. I haven't really thought about retiring. Obviously, as a fighter, one day you have to retire. Everybody has to retire. Father Time is undefeated, but I don't think about that. You know, I am in a tougher weight class than I'm at 145 pounds, where these guys are real fast.
Anderson Silva teve seu prime time da mesma idade que eu.
And Anderson Silva was in his prime at this same age as me. So these guys are a little bit faster, a little bit explosiver as you get lower in weight, and so you can't stay on top forever. That's obvious. But now is not the time for me to be thinking about retiring or anything like that. It happens to all of us. But you know, there's this. I believe there should be a great like a legendary category, a masters category, where some of these guys that are a little bit older, that have great histories, that are legends in the sport, they can fight each other. That's another reason for great cross promotion, like we've seen before, is these older guys fighting, or legends fighting legends, as opposed to fighting somebody 15 years or 10 years much younger than you, because eventually, I mean, Father Time catches up with you, and it gets tougher and tougher to fight the younger guys. So I would love to see something like that with a Masters division, cross promotion divisions, legends against legends.
And one last question, if I could. Does Bellator keep, I don't know if this is actually applies, so forgive me if it doesn't, but does Bellator keep you and SBG fighters apart when you're at the host hotel? I remember when you got into it with Will Brooks about 5 years ago, and it didn't go very well. do they take the similar precautions here?
Ela falou que se SPG Pitbull está separado, tipo, no hotel, tipo, porque o que aconteceu com você, o Will Brooks, na época, né? Tá falando se ia ser verdade, tipo assim.
Sim, sempre o Bellator coloca os lutadores num hotel diferente ou numa torre diferente, mas somos lutadores civilizados, a não ser que eles falem muito, eles gostam de falar demais. Desde que eles não falem besteira, não queria desafiar, a coisa vira pessoal. Mas geralmente tem algum segurança nos acompanhando e deixando a gente em áreas separadas.
Yes, they always separate the Pitbull's opponents from us. So it's, but you know, we're civil fighters, we're professionals, and but even so, Pitbull Brothers always has security. The Pitbull Brothers always has security by our side, and just in case.
All right, we'll go to Donna.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Donna Corby here. Eric, I want to hear from you as well in here. Are you able to jump in, or is that allowed?
I'll allow it.
I want to hear about the travel. I know that Leandro Ego had some problems with the travel for his fight. He struggled with the weight cut because of it, and of course, Patricio had his health issues. Obviously, not related to travel necessarily, but how was how did you guys find the trip getting over to America this time? A lot smoother, and there won't be any problems with that.
Ele falou sobre como foi a viagem aqui, porque a última vez seu irmão pegou labirinto, Leandro bateu peso. Como foi a viagem desta vez?
Daquela vez nós tivemos problemas de autorização de entrar nos Estados Unidos, então a gente perdeu 2 dias no aeroporto. Isso acabou prejudicando o Leandro, que ficou com a alimentação inadequada, a gente não conseguiu fazer os treinamentos corretos, que estava previsto para ele ir descendo de peso. Então, na reta final, isso fez uma diferença. E o meu irmão, infelizmente, ele teve uma crise de labirintite na semana da luta. Nós pensávamos que era por causa da descida de peso, que ele estava tonto. Mas logo após ele recuperar o peso e a gente dar aquele treino pré-luta, ele ficou muito tonto e eu fui obrigado a cancelar o combate. Dessa vez foi diferente, né? Se trata de pessoas diferentes. Cheguei um dia antes do previsto aqui. A semana foi boa, a meta do peso está bem. Eu estou bem de saúde, não me sinto com nenhum problema. Estou pronto para defender o título.
You have to motivate me for that one.
Let's go, Captain.
All right, let me see if I can get all that. I almost forgot the whole question. Repeat the question, I got the answer.
It was about the travel and how Leandro had some issues.
So yeah, you know, the travel last time, there was problems at the airport. We spent 2 days in the airport. And actually, that kind of made the difference for Leandro making weight, because he has a very controlled weight cut, a very controlled taper, which includes trainings that we missed. And so that was a big difference, and that made a big difference in him making the cut. So he missed it by a little bit. And then my brother, you know, I'm not sure if it was the weight cut that triggered his labyrinthe, but his, I think it's like Meniere's disease. But he just it didn't happen during the wake up, but it was happening during the warm up to the fight. I noticed something was off with him, and then I felt obligated. He told me what was wrong, and then I felt obligated to cancel the fight. This time there was no problems at the airport. We actually came a day earlier than expected to prepare for any possible problems, and so far there's no problems, and I'm ready to fight. I'm prepared. I'm prepared well, and I'm ready.
And Eric, while I have you here, I want to know, is Triple C going into The Ultimate Fighter as the coach?
Well, City Kickboxing and Alex Volkanovski, they've kind of avoided Patricio Pitbull. Patricio Pitbull actually was willing to bet $1 million with Dana White to do a cross promotion. So far, we haven't heard anything back. So if they are not willing to fight Patricio Pitbull, I think I'm not sure what's going to happen with Triple C. Triple C is the greatest combat athlete of all time, and if you were Volkanovski, that would be a fight that should intrigue him, but I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like it intrigues him. But maybe the Ultimate Fighter can entice him. Henry's the king of cringe. He brings a lot of ratings to ESPN. It'll be the first ESPN Ultimate Fighter, so it's possible that could intrigue him. A lot of people don't know who Volkanovski is, so this is a way to get himself out there and amplify him. And who better to do it against than the king of cringe, Triple C, trying to become C4. So I think it's a great idea, and I hope he does accept it. I hope it does happen. We did Tough 24, which was Henry versus Joe Benavidez. It was a great experience, and that was like the catapult to Henry becoming Triple C. So hopefully we can do it again and get the first Ultimate Fighter on ESPN. That'd be great. But I would say first I'd like to see him accept that $1 million bet by Patricio Pitbull. That's what I'd like to see. We still I think there's still a rivalry there. Kickboxing.
We'll have time for 2 more questions. Santiago?
Hi, Patricio. Boa tarde and greetings from Amsterdam. You have already done 3 featherweight tournaments with Bellator and you won 2 of them. Do you enjoy competing in these tournaments, or is it different now that you are the current champion of the division?
Você gosta de competir nesse torneio? Você já ganhou 2, estava no final do negócio. Você ainda gosta de lutar no torneio ou é diferente porque você é o champion?
Eu tinha essa opção de ficar de fora do torneio e lutar apenas contra o campeão do GP, mas eu gosto de desafio e eu me coloquei nessa situação de entrar lá no meio de todos os lutadores e lutar no meio deles e realmente provar que eu sou o melhor da história.
I had the option to not fight in this tournament and just fight the winner of the Grand Prix tournament. But I put myself in the tournament. I'm here to show that I am the best fighter in the world. And when I win the tournament, everybody know I'm the best featherweight in MMA, pound for pound.
All right, my last question will go to Lenny.
Hello, Patricio. How are you? Wait, can you hear me?
Great.
Oh, yeah, you can hear me, yeah. So I just, a while back, I heard Captain America say that the Pitbulls versus the SBG. Can I get why the rivalry and the personal vendetta against the SBG, and why do you want to beat them so bad?
Porque você tem uma rivalidade com o SBG. Ela viu a gente falando sobre Pitbull contra o SBG.
É um grande time é uma grande equipe que está na organização. Eu acho que o Bellator merece essa rivalidade, os fãs querem. Eles falam muito. Tem James Gallagher na 61 que fala merda pra caralho, chegou falando merda, chegou de 66, levou pau, baixou pra 61, levou pau de novo. Leandro desafia ele não aceita. Tem Peter Quill contra meu irmão, chegou falando merda também, vai apanhar. Tem agora Pedro Carvalho, que vai ser o primeiro para entrar na porrada. Então é isso, nós temos lutadores da mesma divisão, os caras falam muito e vão ter que entrar na chibata aí.
So, yeah, I mean, they're a great team. You know, they have a lot of good fighters there, but they talk a lot of shit. You know, these guys, James Gallagher came to my weight class, got his ass whooped, dropped another weight class, got his ass whooped again. His brother, Peter Quealy is fighting my brother. He's been talking a lot of shit. He's going to get his ass whooped. You know, we have Pedro Carvalho. Pedro Carvalho's been talking smack, and I'm going to take care of him on Thursday. So, you know, there's a rivalry. These guys talk shit. And that's what the fight game's about. We get to enter the cage and whoop their ass for it. So, yes, they're a great team, but there's a rivalry. Pitbull Brothers versus SBG. So, as a coach, I love it. I think as a coach, I like these rivalries. I mean, we're a small team, you know, the Pitbull Brothers we're from a little beach town in northeast Brazil, and we're taking on the greatest teams. I mean, we fought. Leandro fought AKA last fight, or 2 fights ago. Last fight, he fought American Top Team. You know, Patricios fought American Top Team. Patricios fought, just all the biggest teams out there, those super teams. Sanford MMA. And these rivalries are good. Bellator deserves it. The fans deserve it. And I think I love to see that the Pitbull Brothers is up there in my consideration, probably the #1 team in the world. So it's good to have a bullseye on your back, and it's not just we're the ones with the belts, not SVG. So really, the rivalry is them wanting what we have. They want our gold. Portugal wants the Brazilians' gold again, but it's not going to happen. Not this time. Not with Patricio Pitbull at the helm, who I think is pound for pound the best fighter on the planet, regardless of promotion. And if you don't believe me, just watch. Tune in November 12th, CBS Sports Network.